I will start with the very beginning. We kind of talked about the arms, and one of the things that I've explained, it will be nice if over time you start exploring and feeling the differences between the motions that you're creating. There's no right and wrong, and that's the beauty of dance, especially when it comes to arms, when it comes to the way that you create those. It is entirely up to you. You have the walks forward, we have spoken about them. Regardless of what you choose to create, there is no right and wrong if you feel comfortable with. What you did today, it looked very good to me, so I have very little to say. When you start walking away, please make sure that you turn out your feet. The turning out of your feet is going to determine your balance. I talked about the little duck is walking, so it's the same concept. Once you finish with the movement forward, when you stop yourself, the feet should be well turned out. The space between your legs, you will have to determine what feels comfortable. So in my case, for example, there's a certain amount of space, and what I do is when I'm going down, I try to interlock my knee. However, we are perhaps shaped different to begin with, so please make sure you feel balanced, but the feet should be turned out, most importantly. When you commence the turn, you have to make sure that it's not just the head, but it's also your eye level basically aligned higher than what will be the typical eye level of yours. In your case, what happens sometimes, your head is 100% better than it ever been in dance, but your eyes are still inconsistent. You sometimes look down, which obviously causes troubles. When you turn, you can see that my head is up and my eyes are kind of looking, spotting higher. In the end of my turn, I stop. And it doesn't matter if you change your weight or if you get on the right. To me, it makes no difference. I think aesthetically, it's literally the same. Another thing that I've mentioned today is more foot pressure. What foot pressure means is basically we connect our standing foot, which in this case, for me, that will be the left foot, towards the floor. So with that being said, my left foot is not just hanging and relaxing next to me, but it's actually pushed well down. From here, you ask me if this looks good, and I've already mentioned that it looks fantastic. It is up to you how much rotation, how much stretch you're going to do. It is up to you if the right hand will create almost like a half a moon, or if the hand will basically stay next to you. This is visual and nothing else but visual. But I do like the conscious effort of going here. Before I move on, one of the things that I've mentioned today was that everything we do needs to come from a conscious awareness and effort, pure effort on our side to create it versus it just happened. So we have the little lift of ours where we basically land here. And what I've mentioned was that you have options of how to exit that lift. You can either create a very soft motion and then start opening. We mentioned that 5 steps may feel better for you. Or you can land up, create stronger pickup, and then move again. There's no right and wrong, but it's important that you make a conscious choice. It kills me when I see dancers basically they just drop. There is no consciousness of any kind. There is no attempt of doing it in a certain way. They just drop. So this needs to be still controlled. And then a motion. It's almost breathe in, breathe out, and then you move versus anything else for that matter. Going back to the middle section of our routine, after the turn and a stop, you can create more steps. We've mentioned that you can easily do 5 steps versus 3 steps, perfectly fine. Make sure that you feel comfortable, make sure that you turn out your feet. One thing that happened today, the back of your heel, I believe it was the left foot of yours, kind of slipped. The reason for that is because sometimes you're going back weighted or you're standing back weighted. Please make sure that you put all of your weight towards the ball of the foot, even the toe if you wish, and then you rotate before you take the rock step and so forth. So when we're moving in our rumba, we always do toe ball flat and we shift our weight towards the ball of the foot. And then we move again. And what happens with you, sometimes you're sitting comfortably towards the heel and you're doing it right before you're turning, so that's why the heel kind of drags on the floor.